Hi, I'm Bonnie Barker with BonnieBeCrochet.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make the Tulip Stitch Headband. This headband is made out of cotton with a little bit of spandex, so there's some elasticity in it, and it's a lot of fun. Let me show you real quickly here. It's very easy to wear, great for the summer. It's very breathable, keep your hair back. A lot of fun to wear, and if you even wanted to, you could even double it up and use it as a scrunchie. And the great thing about these two is they don't take very long to make at all. Let's go ahead. Let me show you how to do it. For this Tulip Stitch Headband, I'm recommending that you use Cascade Yarn's Fixation Splash. The splash is just more the color scheme. They also have this in solid colors. And let me show you what the makeup is of this particular yarn. It's 98.3% cotton, 1.7% spandex. This is approximately 100 yards right here. I'm going to also ask that you use a size H or 8 or 5.00 millimeter crochet hook. And as always, if you have a yarn needle on hand, that's going to come in very handy, and of course a pair of scissors. Before I go on, I wanted to show you a little bit about this yarn. It is 100% cotton, which makes it very well suited for headbands, especially for the summertime. It's very breathable. But there's something extra special. Want you to see how much this yarn has elastic. I mean, it really is nice and will bounce back to its shape. Unlike cotton by itself, cotton generally does not do that. Cotton mostly stretches. It is not bouncy like wool, and definitely not like this with the spandex. And because of this, if you're an absolute beginner and have never crocheted before, I wouldn't recommend this video. I'd recommend you check out some of my other videos that use regular yarn, acrylic style yarn. This is more for a confident beginner, someone who's done the stitches several times. They understand how to crochet the basic stitches. You don't have to be expert or anything like that, because these stitches are going to be simple. But you want to be careful when you hold the yarn to not pull back on it too much. You need to crochet normally with a normal tension. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. To begin, we're going to chain 21. Go ahead and make that slip knot on the tighter side. Make sure you leave a nice strand here so that weaving in the end will be easier. Okay, now when you do crochet, as I said before, you don't want to crochet real tight, and you don't want to pull the yarn real tight, because then you'll eliminate a lot of the elasticity that you want to be built into your project. So just crochet as normally as possible. Okay, so go ahead and make those 21 chains. Okay, now we're ready to begin row 1. And I honestly believe this is going to be the most difficult row. It's not going to be difficult, but it's going to be the most challenging, because you need to lay this foundation row nice and clearly so that the other rows will be easy to follow on. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is work 3 double crochets in the 5th chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to work 3 double crochets right into that same space. Make sure again that you're not holding the yarn too tight, because you want to have some elasticity to this project. Okay, after we do that, we are going to skip 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and then the next chain we're going to work a single crochet. Make sure you go through both loops. A chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to work 3 double crochets all in that same chain. 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to skip 3 chains, 1, 2, 3. We're going to do it again. Single crochet in that next place, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 3 double crochets in that same place where that last single crochet was crocheted. That's 2, And this is basically the repeat across the row, but I'm going to go ahead and take you all the way across. Then skip the next 3 stitches where we're just repeating 1, 2, 3, and again single crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 3 double crochets in that same chain. So this is what you should have so far. Now we're going to skip the next 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and we're just going to work a single crochet in that last chain. And that ends row 1, and that's what we should have. Now we're going to turn, and let's see, make sure I get the right strand here. We're going to chain 4. This is the beginning of row 2. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to work 3 double crochets in the chain 1 that we just made. Okay, so we just did the chain 1 here, and I'm going to try to work it under both of those loops. If you can see that, you don't have to do under both, but I think it's going to make it a little stronger if we do. So I'm going to work it under all of those, working 3 double crochets. Okay, and after we do that, we're going to skip the single crochet and the 3 double crochets. We're not going to work in those, but we're actually going to be working in this chain 3 over here. We're going to work a single crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. And make sure that you do keep your yarn rather loose. Don't let it pull tight on you, and mine was starting to do that. You want to keep it nice and loose. Now we're going to skip the next single crochet and the 3 double crochets, and we only work in the next chain 3 space, single crochet, chain 3, and 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and then we skip the next single crochet and 3 double crochets, and then go to the next chain 3 space, work a single crochet, chain 3, and then 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and then we skip the single crochet and the 3 double crochets, and at the very last chain 3 we just single crochet in that space. And then so this ends 2 rows. Let me show you just how nice and elastic that is. Okay, now we're going to do row 3, actually row 3, until we get this piece to be our desired length. If I'm going to make mine about 20 to 21 inches. I'm not exactly sure yet until I get to the end, but I will have all of that listed out there for you. And the reason being is I want this to fit my head. And so I'm actually going to, you know, as I crochet along, as it gets bigger and bigger, again, to about 21 inches, I'm going to stretch it out and just see how it fits around my head and then add rows accordingly. Now, if you're making this for a child, what you can do is make it to a standard of around 18 inches, or even, you know, however long you want to make it. It's really up to you. But we're going to do it by repeating row number 2. And I'll repeat this for you again. Chain 4, and then we work 3 double crochets in that first chain, and like I said, I'm going under both of those sides of the V of the chain. If you can only find one, that's fine, just go under one, but I'm going to just try to do this to strengthen it. And then we skip the next single crochet and 3 double crochets, and we working in the chain space, we work a single crochet, chain 3, and 3 double crochets. really like the way these colors are coming out. It reminds me of dyeing Easter eggs. Okay, so we have single crochet, 3 double crochets that we skip, and then in the chain 3 space again, single crochet, chain 3, and then work 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. And then we skip the single crochet, 3 double crochets, and working in this chain 3 space again, single crochet, chain 3, and then 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And then we skip the single crochet and the 3 double crochets. It brings us to our last chain 3, and when we get to the last chain 3, just do a single crochet. Okay, so across you should have 4 of these clusters on each row. If you find that it's getting larger and you're counting 5 or even 6, then you've added some that you don't need to, and that's going to affect the way this looks. So go ahead for the next however many rows it takes for you to get to 21 inches long. Go ahead and work row 2. Okay, I'm finished with the headband. It is approximately 20 inches long. I'm going to go ahead and fold it in half, and so that would measure 10 inches when folded. Now notice when I measure this, I am not pulling it tight, okay? Now if you have a smaller head, or if you want to make it a child size, make sure that it is a little bit smaller, because you want this to at least stretch a little bit so that it stays on your head. Okay, so let's go ahead and connect this together. So what I want you to do is turn this end. We're getting ready to work the final row, and this is the row that's going to connect. And we're going to take and fold this just like so. And we're going to hold the ends together. And we're going to line up the clusters with each other, just like that. Okay? And we are going to chain 1. And then working across, we're just going to do single crochets here. Let's do 1 each in each of these double crochets. I know these are kind of hard to see with the variegated yarn, but there we go. There's the third one. And I've crocheted them right in to the chain. And now go to the chain and go ahead and crochet that right that. And I'm going to go back into these double crochets, and I'm just going to working a single crochet. I go on to the top of the double crochet, and I'm just going to do them right in that chain. You see that? Just working there. The single crochets are all going into that chain 3, and then the chain 3 is going right into the space where the double crochets were worked on the other end of this. Okay, let's do this one again. The 3 single crochets are crocheted right into that chain 3. Now this is the part that's going to be, at the back of the headband when you wear it. You would not want this seam to be showing in the front. Now we go into the big chain 3 space here, and then work that into the spot where the 3 double crochets and that single crochet were worked. And then we just have one more to do here. Again, in through the top loop of these 3 double crochets, and going into connecting it with that chain 3. Like this. And now the chain 3 and the little space right here. I'm going to go ahead and do a single crochet there. Now we're going to fasten off. Go ahead and do a chain and pull it tight. And I'm actually going to do that 2 times just to make sure it doesn't come undone because of the nature of the project. Now I'm going to cut a nice long strand, Make sure it's at least 5 inches, 6 inches or so, so that you have enough to thread into your yarn needle. Okay, so let's go ahead and thread that needle. And we're going to run this, just go ahead and run it under the stitches we just completed, these single crochets. It's really hard to see with this different color, but that's actually a good thing because that just means this strand is going to be hidden really well. So go ahead and hide that loose strand. And just run it under there like that. Give it a nice tug, pull, and I'm going to go ahead and give that yarn a clip. Make sure I don't clip the actual stitches, but only the thread. And now I have one more thread, so I'm going to go ahead and hide this one as well. And again, hiding it on the seam on the back side. By the way, this headband is reversible, so it doesn't matter, you know, which side that you run the seam under, because it's reversible. Both sides look the same. So I'm going to go ahead and run this under the seam. Okay, that's all done. Pull it through, give it a tug so that the yarn is evenly behind the stitches, and give it a clip. And we are all done. We are all done with our headband. There are many different colors that this yarn comes in, by the way. This is one of the more pastel, but you can see there's a lot of stretch with this headband. And if you wanted to, you can even double it, and you can even use it as like a scrunchie. And you know, if you have a ponytail, this would easily wrap around that and look pretty fun. Okay, well, I hope you like this project. If you could just give that little subscribe button a hit if you haven't already, and if you did like the project, hit the little bell if you would for me. I want to make sure you don't miss any new offerings that are coming your way. God bless. Bye-bye.